From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, India is a spellbinding mosaic of culture, tradition, languages, and an extraordinary mingling civilization. Keeping its age-old culture maintained, today the country is taking huge strides on the path of development. Hello, I'm your host Pratiksha, and today in our episode of My India, we bring you some of these stories that will give a glimpse of our country's diversity, culture, and advancement in the field of science and technology. Now we take you to India's holy town of Puri, where the famous Rath Yatra or Chariot Festival was celebrated with immense devotion. Dedicated to Lord Jagannath, his sister Subhadra and brother Balbhadra, the annual procession is one of the biggest and most widely celebrated occasions in India. Though it is celebrated with the same fanfare in different parts of the country, the one held in Puri is just beyond comparison. Take a look.
The annual wait is now finally over. When the three chariots travelled along the grand road, Jai Jagannath chants could be heard across the Indian beach town of Puri. These ceremonial processions and chariots in red and yellow are parts of celebrations of the Jagannath Rath Yatra, a grand celebration of faith and devotion. A pool of Hindu devotees thronged Puri to celebrate the Jagannath Rath Yatra, which is dedicated to Lord Jagannath, his sister goddess Subhadra, and his elder brother Lord Balbhadra. Popularly known as the Gundicha Yatra or Chariot Festival, it is one of the most anticipated festivals in Odisha as well as nationwide. The Rath Yatra begins with the idols of Lord Jagannath and the idols of his divine siblings being taken out of their home at Jagannath Temple. Placed on huge decorative chariots, the three deities travel to Gundicha Temple, said to be the abode of Lord Jagannath's aunt, where they stay for 9 days and later they come back to the Jagannath Temple. It is believed that the Chariot Festival is observed across the country to unite people and foster peace and harmony in the world.
He's the only deity. He's so unusual, Jagannath. He comes out, he's the only deity that comes out of the temple just to see us, even though he's so exclusive the rest of the year. Once a year, he comes out to see us. Jagannath is different than any other form of Krishna. He's my personal favorite incarnation of Krishna, and he is just amazing.
During the festivities, the city saw a flurry of activities as people danced and sang in the streets to the sounds of gongs, cymbals and drums while pulling the chariots of the gods with long ropes. It is believed that pulling the rope of chariots adds to good karma, and those who do this get relieved from all types of sins and attain salvation. As the procession moves forward, a wave of spirituality and euphoria sweeps the entire city. The devotees feel enlightened and their emotions run high at the moment they get a glimpse of Lord Jagannath and his siblings. The Trinity travel in their respective chariots, which are named Darpadalan, Taladhwaja and Nandi Ghosha. Taladhwaja, chariot of Lord Balbhadra, Darpadalan, chariot of goddess Subhadra, and Nandi Ghosha, chariot of Lord Jagannath. Each of these chariots has 9 Parsava Devtas surrounding it. They are painted as wooden representations of different gods on the sides of the chariots. Additionally, each chariot has 4 horses attached to it, each of which is drawn by a different color horse. For example, Balbhadra's horse are dark, Jagannath's are white, and Subhadra's horses are red.
एनर्जी और जो भी उनका भक्ति भावना के साथ जो वो लोग खींचते हैं, इसमें ये एक डिवाइन एक्सपीरियंस महसूस फील होती है. इसको मैं एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकता.
Numerous pujas and rituals take place during the Jagannath Yatra. Not just in India, even devotees from outside were seen as extremely devoted towards Lord Jagannath as they participated in the grand procession. Calling him the Lord of Universe, the devotees expressed their immense joy of being able to witness such a holy yatra.
I'm coming to Puri for Rath Yatra because Jagannath is coming out of the temple to see his bhaktas. I am one of his bhaktas. I want him to see me. I want to chant Jai Jagannath to give him some pleasure, some happiness, some anand to see his bhaktas.
It's extremely overwhelming to be here in the midst of so much devotion, so much love, a river of love, and the Lord is coming out for all of us to give his mercy.
Given the enormous crowd that had assembled to take part in the celebrations, the festival site was placed under strict security, with police officers keeping a close eye on things throughout the Rath Yatra. The Jagannath Yatra is a cherished event that strengthens spiritual connections and celebrates the rich cultural heritage of Odisha.
India is a land where religions do not overshadow faith, humanity and values of any individuals. Centuries old, Baba Chamlial Dargah in Samba district of Jammu and Kashmir is one such example, where people from different faiths gather to attend the annual fair Chamlial Mela that encourages brotherhood and a sense of belongingness among different communities of the country. Let's have a look. Situated in the border village of the Ramgarh area of the Samba district of Jammu and Kashmir division, there is a shrine of Baba Dilip Singh Manhas, who was popularly known as Baba Chamlial. Devotees from every nook and corner of the country gathered and registered their presence at the Dargah of Baba Chamlial every year. The annual celebration is observed on both the sides of the border in remembrance of Baba Chamlial. The festival runs for at least a week. This is one such occasion when the people from different faiths, be it Hindu, Muslim, Sikh or Christian, can be seen bowing their heads and offering chadars at the Dargah.
ये दरगाह है बाबा चंबलियाल की, पुराने ज़माने की है, आज की नहीं है। ये सदियों पुरानी चलती आ रही है और यहाँ पे हर धर्म का बंदा आता है और उनकी जो है जो भी मुरादें होती हैं वो पूरी होती हैं इंशाल्लाह वलियों के सदक़े में। तो हर धर्म का बंदा आता है यहाँ पे, तो आके मुरादें भर के झोली भर के जाते हैं इंशाल्लाह। और हमारे पुरख मतलब पुराने बुजुर्ग भी यहाँ पे आते थे और सदियों पुराने आ रहे हैं और इंशाल्लाह इसीलिए हम भी आए हैं क्योंकि हमने भी सुना है और मैं भी कम से कम 20 साल पुराना यहाँ पे आ रहा हूँ।
The centuries-old Dargah of Baba Dilip Singh is an absolute symbol of peace and brotherhood. People from various regions and religions come to offer prayers. It is said that Baba Dilip Singh, with his spiritual power, could cure skin diseases just by applying a special manhas mud. Baba had gained trust of lakhs of devotees throughout his lifetime. The impression of Baba's noble deeds is still felt today as large number of people flock to the Dargah every year on the occasion.
चमल्याल मेला जम्मू संभाग में आयोजित होने वाला जम्मू कश्मीर का बहुत बड़ा मेला है। ये कोई साधारण मेला नहीं है, इसमें लाखों की संख्या में यहाँ पे लोग आते हैं और आनंद लेते हैं इस मेले का। यहाँ तक कि इस मेले पर कई लोकगीत भी बने हैं और ये सबको पता है उत्तरी भारत के भिन्न राज्यों से यहाँ पे लोग आए हैं और आ रहे हैं। तो मैं जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस की ओर से सबका यहाँ पे स्वागत करता हूँ।
The continuous beat of the drums and serenading music could be felt on both sides of the border, day and night, as the celebration progresses.
इस साल जो वार्षिक मेला होता है बाबा चमलियाल का, उसको लेके हमने कोई 1.5-2 महीने से लगातार यहाँ पे जो भी इंतजाम होते हैं उनको पर्सनली यहाँ पे मॉनिटर किया है। और इस बार हम जो प्रयास कर रहे हैं वो ये है कि मेले में जो श्रद्धालु आते हैं, दूर दराज से आते हैं, देश विदेश से आते हैं, उनको यहाँ पे दिक्कत ना हो, रोड पे कोई अतिक्रमण टाइप की सिचुएशन ना हो। जितने भी ठेले और फुटकर दुकानें लगती हैं वो सड़क से दूर लगाई जाए ताकि श्रद्धालुओं को आने जाने में कोई दिक्कत ना हो, कंजेशन ना हो।
The Dargah of Chamlial attracts people from either sides of India-Pakistan border. The devotees of Baba are following in his footsteps even today by propagating peace and harmony in the society. Now, a roundup of some of the major stories that made news recently.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi sounded a clarion call to US business leaders to invest in India on the final day of his state visit.
आज व्हाइट हाउस में हुआ टेक्नोलॉजी हैंडशेक भी दोनों देशों की कंपनियों को, बिजनेस को, मैन्युफैक्चरर्स को, इनोवेटर्स को सीधा संदेश है, दिस इज द मोमेंट।
Speaking at the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts, Modi said New Delhi and Washington laid the groundwork for entrepreneurs and now it is their responsibility to grow. Modi addressed members of the Indian diaspora, many of whom turned out at events during the visit to enthusiastically feed him. The White House menu for the state dinner honoring Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had featured vegetarian fare including a first course of marinated millet and grilled corn kernel salad with compressed watermelon and a main course of stuffed portobello mushrooms and saffron-infused risotto.
As some of you may know, Prime Minister Modi is a vegetarian. So we asked Chef Nina Curtis, a plant-based pioneer, to work with our White House chefs and create a stunning vegetarian menu.
Dessert had a rose and cardamom-infused strawberry shortcake. During PM Modi's visit to Washington, US President Joe Biden and the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi deepened defense and technology cooperation between their countries. Indian budget carrier Indigo's historic deal involving the most budgets ever brought by a single airline with Europe's Airbus was a landmark for the country's civil aviation industry, Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia said on last Tuesday.
This latest order by one of our foremost carriers, Indigo, order of 500 aircraft with Airbus industry, talks of the potential of civil aviation in the country, talks of the unprecedented growth that this sector has experienced over the last 9 years.
The multi-billion-dollar deal eclipses Air India's combined purchase of 470 jets earlier this year as India's two largest carriers plan for a sharp expansion in regional travel demand. Indigo's order for A320neo family jets follows months of negotiations. The aircrafts will be delivered between 2030 and 2035. Indian carriers are keeping pace with the world's fastest-growing aviation market, serving the largest population in the world. Indian carriers now have the second largest order book with an over 6% share of the industry backlog, behind only the United States, according to a report by Barclays.
India is known to be the land where the Sufi philosophies flourish in their quintessence. A number of Sufi saints from across the world settled in India and spread the message of peace and harmony. The teachings of these saints advocate the lives of people, which was clearly visible during the annual Urs festival of Saint Reshimol Sahib at his shrine, where people of all faiths assembled to seek his blessings. Let's have a look. Situated in Kashmir's Anantnag, the Shireen of Sufi saint Reshimol Sahib has served as a symbol of communal harmony for generations, drawing a large number of devotees every year, irrespective of their religion. To uphold his teachings of oneness and communal harmony, recently on the occasion of his Urs, a special prayer was organized at the Dargah in which people from different faiths participated.
इनका दीन सूफियत जो दीन होती है वो भाईचारे पे मुनस्सिर होती है। सूफियत उसी को कहते हैं जब दीन इक्वल, उसमें ना मुसलमान ना हिंदू ना सिख ना ईसाई, इक्वल होता इंसान, उसमें इंसान होता है। जब इंसान दुनिया में इस तरह औलिया पैदा होते हैं तो वहाँ आप खुद ही देखते हैं कि वहाँ हिंदू भी जाते हैं, सिख भी जाते हैं, मुसलमान भी जाते हैं। इनका नाम रेशमोल है और यहाँ सब दीन के पैरोकार आते हैं। और हमने रात भर शब खानी की और हमने दुआएं की, दुआएं मांगी, मिल के मांगी है, मुल्क के लिए मांगी है, मुल्क के लोगों के लिए मांगी है, इंसानियत के लिए मांगी है, भाईचारे के लिए मांगी है।
Coming from different corners of North India, these devotees attended the prayers to seek the blessings of the holy saint. It is said that saint fulfills the wishes of all the devotees and nobody returns empty-handed from here.
बाहर से आते हैं, दिल्ली से आते हैं बाबा ऋषि के पास, ताकि यहाँ हमारी जो अर्जी है अच्छा वो पूरी हो जाए। लिहाजा इनका दर्ज यही है, सूफियाना दर्ज। हर एक यहाँ आता है, चाहे वो सिख हो, मुसलमान हो, हिंदू हो। अक्सर यहाँ हिंदू आते हैं। इस वक्त भी जम्मू से यहाँ आते हैं बाबा ऋषि के पास।
For ages, the Sufi saints like Reshi Mol have promoted the memo of spiritualism and harmony in our country, and his teachings are based on direct perception of God. And now, we bring you a few short stories about the recent developments and happenings from around the world in our section of World in Focus. Inmates at Greece's largest state prison performed a concert on the grounds of the facility as part of World Music Day. It was the culmination of a 7-year workshop.
I think music helps everyone, whether they're in prison or out of prison. I think it always has this ability of either staying with you when you're low or allowing you to feel more energetic, or helping you overcome or gradually a little bit overcome whatever you're feeling.
The inmates of Korydallos prison played 5 musical compositions for family members that they had created themselves as part of the 7-year program at the prison, sponsored by the country's national opera, where they learned to play musical instruments and compose lyrics. The music therapists chose World Music Day for their last concert to make the inmates feel that they were part of something bigger. Since 2017, the Greek National Opera has been providing music and dance workshops at the prison, which includes both men and women wings. London's Victoria and Albert Museum draws inspiration from some of the world's best-known performers for its summer blockbuster exhibition celebrating their talent, creativity and influence.
I was fascinated with the term and how it originated in opera as goddess, and then how it had become negative, and then looking at a story where we could reclaim the diva as a positive, because it has been adopted and adapted in so many ways. It's such an intriguing kind of idea.
Titled Diva, the exhibition features some 60 costumes and 250 items from screen sirens and stage stars from the 19th century to today, many displayed for the first time. Highlights included a dress worn by Marilyn Monroe in 1959 film Some Like It Hot, Maria Callas costumes from her first and last performances at the Royal Opera House, and Franco Zeffirelli's Tosca in 1964, as well as fashion designer Bob Mackie's outfits for singer Tina Turner, Cher and Pink. Also on display is Elton John's Louis XIV inspired 50th birthday party look, complete with its colossal wig and train, and singer Janelle Monáe's vulva pants from her 2018 Pink music video. The exhibition is divided into two sections, with Act 1 offering historical context and Act 2 focused on major modern-day artists. It uses the objects to recount the creation of the diva, delving into personal stories and looking at performers' activism and sway on social issues, including equality and civil rights. Also on show are personal objects, song sheets, posters and photography. Diva runs from June 24 to April 7, 2024. Thousands of paddlers descended on Hong Kong to take part in the Financial Hub's International Dragon Boat competition, held for the first time in more than 4 years after they were halted due to anti-government protest and COVID-19. The two-day event, organized by Hong Kong's Tourism Board and the Hong Kong-China Dragon Boat Association, drew more than 4,000 paddlers from 160 teams, including from the Taiwan and internationally, its tourism body said. While dragon boat racing originated in China's southern Linganan region more than 1,000 years, the modern version began in Hong Kong, a special Chinese administrative region, around 40 years ago. India is set to become the largest mobile manufacturing hub in the coming years. We say so as the country has already bagged the second largest mobile manufacturer title. Given the favorable Indian government policies and large talented workforce, the global giant like Apple and Samsung are turning to India to manufacture their products. Let's have a look at how the country is poised to dominate the mobile market soon.
India is currently on her way to dominate the mobile manufacturing landscape.
मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में भारत दुनिया का दूसरा सबसे बड़ा देश बनकर के उभरा है.
India's infrastructure, favorable government policies, and large talented workforce have attracted giant global corporations. The biggest smartphone company, Apple, is turning to India to manufacture its products. South Korean company, Samsung, has opened its largest factory in the capital New Delhi's satellite city, Noida. Be it manufacturing, assembling, or outsourcing, India has emerged as the first destination for mobile phone companies. A fast-developing India has strengthened her grip on technology and has allowed 100% foreign direct investment in the mobile sector that has not just provided clarity around the definition of the term manufacturing, but has also given a transparent framework to investors. Apple already assembles its mobiles in India through 3 of its global suppliers, Foxconn and Pegatron in Tamil Nadu, and Wistron in Karnataka. Now, this electronics behemoth is turning to India and making iPhones here under the banner of Make in India. A big part of India's success in the telecom sector is her ability to innovate and deliver cost-effective products. Indian tech and electronics company, Lava, which is well known as a handset manufacturer, has now become the first Indian brand to launch a consumer 5G smartphone for the domestic market. With great infrastructure, a talented workforce, and the foresight to create phones for not only the domestic market, but also the overseas market, this Indian mobile manufacturer is all set to double down on its manufacturing operations. With the launch of their Agni 2 smartphone, Lava is now rolling out what it calls Made in India phones.
We are focusing on first on productivity improvement, that how we can be more productive compared to what they are in China, and then we are working on the localization of the components, how we can have more local components so that we can have less dependability from China and other countries, and in that process we can create more employment in India and we can be self-dependent.
From manufacturing to assembling to packaging, Indian mobile brands are performing remarkably well. The companies are able to produce efficient battery chargers along with meticulous phone designs. With strong support from the government, India surpassed $10 billion worth of smartphone exports in the fiscal year of 2022 to 2023.
Mobile industry, where we've grown from 2 manufacturers to probably nearly 200 manufacturers in the mobile ecosystem, is a living example of the success.
The government has come up with a well-designed scheme which offers incentives of 4 to 6% on incremental sales of mobiles manufactured in India to qualified companies for a period of 5 years. With Micromax, Lava, Intex, and Carbon scripting success with low-cost phones, the Indian smartphone market is entering a hyper-growth phase. With Indian engineers who are focused on future breakthroughs and on enhancing the manufacturing process through automation and robotics, companies are able to trim down their costs whilst increasing their productivity. With agile policies and an anti-fragile mindset, India is propelling inclusive growth in the mobile sector and is steadily emerging as an ideal development model for the world.
That's all we have for you this week. Your comments and suggestions are important to us. Do give us your feedback at myindia@anin.com. I am your host Pratiksha, and it's a goodbye from the entire production team.